So I practice in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, which is all the way up in Bergen County, exit 168, and I live with my family just over the line in New York, Pearl River, actually, in Rockland County. So for those of you who have not heard, the last week there's a ban on any unvaccinated children in the county in any public place. That includes shopping centers, restaurants, schools, and places of worship. So my children got the honor to get here with me today because they're actually banned from school. And also, just a quick note, if anybody can help tutor us in Spanish or math, we could really use some help this weekend too. So it's been a little exciting up there, definitely pushing us out of our comfort zone, making us really stay firm. But I have to say that I'm so excited that New Beginnings was this weekend, because this is just the one thing that just keeps me so rock solid that this couldn't have been, it happened at a more perfect time. So what I've noticed up with all this whole thing is it's not because measles is spreading. It's really only in one community. There's a big Hasidic population in our county, and that's really where the measles is sequestered to. So it's not like it's spreading all over the county and everyone's getting it. And the last count I just saw actually this morning was that as of last week when they did the ban, it was 155 cases. But guys, these are Hasidic families. They have like 10 people in a family. So when one kid gets it, the other 8 get it. It's like it definitely spreads quicker amongst their families. Today I saw the count of 166. So it's gone up 11 in a week, even with this ban of unvaccinated children, anybody under 18 in the county. So why is it still spreading? Because thousands of people are going and getting vaccinated, and they haven't even thought about the fact that these people are shedding the virus, for 30 days. But those people aren't banned from going out. They're allowed to go out in public because they won't tell anybody that. And nobody knows this. And everybody is scared. And I had to leave a group on Facebook and stop following them because the people were so angry. And I really started to feel like a bad guy, that I was the one doing the wrong thing. And then I looked at my kids, and I realized I did not do the wrong thing. So these people need what we have. They have to understand that their bodies are designed and programmed to fight these diseases off. And that's what they're supposed to do. We have the answer to all of these issues. So why is this stuff happening in front of us? So I graduated from New York Chiropractic College, and I got a great education in science and biology, not so much in chiropractic. We only learned one adjusting technique, and definitely no philosophy. We had one trimester of philosophy. I never knew what a green book was until I got here to New Jersey and started practicing with somebody who was philosophical. Never saw one on campus. The instructors never suggested that we get a green book. And then I came to New Jersey to associate, and I was blessed to be introduced to the Council of New Jersey Chiropractors and New Beginnings, where I could get philosophy from some of the best chiropractors in our profession. And it started to build, and it started to build. But being a young chiropractor, I think it didn't hit me yet. But last October I was here, and something was different, and it hit me. I got the big idea last October, sitting here at New Beginnings. And with each speaker, I got more certain and more certain and more certain. And just like you said this morning, Jim, that this will change your life, it totally changed my life. I went back to my practice, and I was ready to tell people the chiropractic story, and I did. And within a few weeks, I saw a huge shift in my practice. Patients started calling up, new patients were coming in that wanted chiropractic care. Not patients that were gonna fight with me over my fee schedule or fight with me over my care plan or just put doubt in my mind. These patients wanted to be there. I had children under 2 begin chiropractic care without their parents starting care. And at that point, I knew that I was definitely on purpose and that I was where I should be. So thank you to New Beginnings, because it has totally changed my life. So my chiropractic journey began when I was 15, and my parents had taken me to a chiropractor for some health problems that I was having, and they cleared up pretty quickly. But I didn't realize the true benefit of it until that next winter, probably 9 months later, 10 months later, when I did not get strep throat that winter. It wasn't a winter that went by that I didn't come down with some infection, usually strep throat. And when I didn't get it, it hit me. And I was like, wow, this is the only thing that I changed was chiropractic. And I realized that that made such an impact. But it wasn't at that point that I realized I wanted to be a chiropractor. It still didn't even occur to me. So it wasn't for a couple years later. I had graduated high school, still had no idea really what I wanted to be. And one day, it just hit me. I felt it in my core. And I knew that chiropractic was the path that I wanted to take. So off I went to chiropractic school. So, sorry. So I went back to my office after New Beginnings this fall, and again, it was totally transformed. After hearing the philosophy here, what I did was I went back and I started pulling out audios of old speakers, Santo, Sigafus, even some of the council meetings. And the more I listened to it, the more I heard that philosophy, the more secure and more certain that I was about chiropractic and what I was doing. And that message started to trickle over into my patients. They started to bring in their families. They started referring. We were getting amazing results with all of these people. And then a friend of mine introduced me to The Glory of Going On. My favorite green book, probably because it's the only one I've read cover to cover, but mostly because it really just helped get me more secure. And all the writings that he did in there on innate just really, really hit me. After diving into this book, I really started to hear that voice inside me more. Like my innate just became heightened. And I started listening to that voice more and more in all areas of my life. Not just in the office, but also at home, which kind of stinks for my kids because now I know when the homework's not really done. I can just sense it, and they can't lie to me anymore. When the teeth don't get brushed, so sorry, guys. But in the office, it totally changed everything. You know, I just started practicing innately. When I would lay my hands on a patient, I knew exactly where the dis-ease was and what subluxation needed to be adjusted, and that's where I would go to. And then I started going back, and I started really just improving on my adjusting. And I would just think of, go back to the technique teachings that we learned in school, like, get my sternum over the bone to be adjusted and take that tissue pull. And then I would take literally 1 or 2 seconds, close my eyes, and just make sure that I was gonna move that bone in the right direction. And I'm telling you, it completely changed everything. When I do that, I am totally innately connected to that patient, and that bone moves like that. Like I don't have to put any force into it anymore. It's amazing, and it's so uplifting and so amazing to practice that way. BJ says, innate is the wholesome and reliable knowledge of all things. While education is artificial, superficial, sidetracked, counterfeit of the real you within you, the more educatedly you deny innate, the less you will receive innate. Innate will not flash thoughts through to a super-educated, muddled brain filled with complex misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and misconstructions of itself. So I ask you, are you innately connecting with your patients when you adjust them? Are you closing your eyes? Are you feeling which way that bone needs to move? It's completely different than taking those technique courses and knowing educatedly how to move that bone. We are all connected innately on this deep innate level. That's why you can think about somebody that you haven't spoke to in a while, and what do? They call you on the phone. That's why a woman who lives 4 hours from her father who has cancer knows the exact weekend that she and her family need to go down and visit him, because that's the last weekend that he's going to be alive, because he dies 4 days later. That's why a mother who's in labor, struggling and having a hard time, knows, she gets this flash image of this baby tangled up in a cord with its arm like this. And she knows that something is just not perfect the way that it should be. We have the ability to connect to our patients on this deep level, yet most of us don't do it. Most of our profession doesn't do it. And it transforms everything. So BJ says, we've gone a long ways between the days of hammering away on 24 vertebrae every day to an adjustment at one place, allowing for time to restore all readings at superior and inferior areas. This process eliminates doing much wrong, wrong places, wrong times, wrong ways, slowing the progress of our cases. He developed chiropractic from adjusting to this specific thing, which really became more upper cervical, but it became very specific. And when we do that, I feel that the adjustment is when we innately connect to our patient and move that bone in the exact right direction, in the right place, at the right time. Anything else is just manipulation. So let's adjust our patients correctly, guys, and we will get amazing results. I want to read you, I don't know if anybody saw The Greatest Showman. There's a song by Pink called A Million Dreams. And when I heard this song the other day in the car, hopefully I won't cry because it does get me emotional, but I just thought of chiropractic. This profession has been hit with so much lately, between babies now not being able to get adjusted in Australia, and now vaccinations, which I know is not our profession, but it does affect our profession because so many of us don't vaccinate. So this song kind of hit me. So A Million Dreams by Pink. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say, it all sounds crazy. They can say, I've lost my mind. I don't care. So call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. Because every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. I look forward to serving chiropractic for many more years and creating a world where people are healthy and they're able to adapt to their environment, where allergies and asthma don't exist, where cancer isn't the second leading cause of death in children age 1 to 14, a world where the flu doesn't kill people, where kids can go play in the dirt and that's okay, a world where babies are handed to a chiropractor right after birth and adjusted or checked for subluxations. BJ said, with each of us doing our bit, sharing the load, helping to carry the burden, getting into the harness and putting our shoulders to the wheel, putting everything we've got into it, we can and will save chiropractic in its purity for posterity, for rights of the sick to get well, with pure, unadulterated, by hand only chiropractic. I look forward to creating this world with all of you. Thank you.